So I have posted several blog posts. If you haven't seen them, then you can just click on the website, www.dirtylaundrycleansoul.com, and you can go read some of those blog posts. And so there are 3 of my top ones, I would say, that people have commented on, liked, and so I'm going to have Preston answer a few questions, because my blog posts come from like my perspective, but never really his, and I try to do that, but I'm not real accurate with that all the time. So we're going to kind of get into those questions. So the first one is, what's been the hardest part about living with someone who struggles with anxiety?
I would say the hardest part for me has been, I guess it's a blessing or fortunate that I don't have anxiety. I don't struggle with anxiety. And so not being able to empathize and relate on that personal level of experiencing what you experience, I think that was the biggest challenge, because to me, at first, just like you talked about in your post, it was just as simple as take a deep breath, pray about it, and let's roll on about our business. And it's not that easy. And it's a lot deeper, and it's a lot more deeply rooted than what I kind of made it out to be at first. And so I really struggled. Like, the person that she was talking about in What Not to Do, she was talking about me whenever she first started having these anxiety attacks.
But I wasn't referring to you.
I know, but I'm saying that's exactly who I was.
Yeah.
But I think that's the challenge, is not having anxiety and then trying to do everything in my power to help myself understand and to help you, especially in the moments of those attacks.
Yeah, for sure. I will say though, Preston's actually really good about it. At first it was like, let's just sing worship songs, and that helped, and then it got worse.
And I can sing.
Yes, he can blow. And so it just he just kind of helped walk through that. But it's also nice having somebody walk through it with me who doesn't struggle with anxiety, because you can kind of bring me back down at times and just be like, hey, we're good. So I would definitely I kind of agree with that though, but it's okay, you tried. And though, for those, like, most people don't know this, but Preston actually edits my posts. He didn't edit the last one because I kind of wanted it to be sort of a surprise, but he doesn't get paid for it, so, but he's the one that proofreads everything. So thanks, babe, for the free work. All right, the next one is, what's been the hardest thing about marriage, and then what's been like the most fun thing about marriage? We can both answer this one, but okay. I'll let you go first.
I'll say, starting with the most fun, there are so many fun things about marriage, but I just like having somebody that I can do life with every single day, and specifically that person being you, but just somebody to do life with every day on such an intimate level. And it's just an adventure. Every single day is an adventure. Even if it's a day where we just hang out and watch TV all day, or we do whatever, like the simple days, it's still an adventure because I've got a life partner now. And so that part of it is a blast. And so everything that I do, I get to do with somebody and share with somebody. And now with 2 people, now that we have our baby girl. And so I think just having that family unit that's mine, I think is the most special, the most fun, the best part of my marriage. I think the hardest part, I guess, I would say the hardest part was, and still kind of a work in progress, but just the 2 different people with 2 different upbringings, and you have 2 different customs, 2 different families that trying to come together and figure out, okay, how do we do this our way now, and not how do we mirror my family, how do we mirror your family, but how do we pull the best of what both have to offer and kind of create our own create our own traditions, our own memories, and all that. I think has been the most difficult, because that just clashes at times. I think that's been the consistent the most tough part.
Yeah, for sure. I would say the most fun for me, I'm super scared of the dark, and I don't like to sleep by myself, so like I would sleep with my sister whenever we live together. But now it's like fun not having to like sleep by myself, or now I can actually turn the TV off.
Every night's a sleepover.
Yeah, for sure. Except for you normally bring clothes to a sleepover and you don't sleep with clothes.
I gotta edit that part out.
Maybe. I mean, again, we're all imperfect here. And then I would say the hardest part is just kind of bringing in the baggage, like, from my own, like, past, not just past relationships, but just experiences in childhood and just things like that, like, bringing it over into our marriage, and then trying to figure out how to work through all of that.
Right.
And so that would probably be the hardest for me, because it's hard to, like, adjust from stuff that went on for so long, such a long period of time of my life, and then now to be like, okay, this is actually a good thing, which is hard. So why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just looking at you and listening to you talk.
Okay, well, thanks. All right, so the last question is, what would you say was the most rewarding thing about the several major life changes that we had a year ago? And let me explain before I answer that. So I just did a post on just change and how we as human beings adapt to that, specifically how I adapt to change, which is not very well. And a year ago, Preston and I actually decided we were going to move cities, and so we moved from Fort Worth to Houston. I was 9 months pregnant, and then I also changed.
No help in the moving process.
Yes, I did. I climbed the stairs several times and was super hot, but. And then I also experienced a career change. So I went from coaching and teaching and moved into ministry. And so now I'm youth pastor, that whole thing. And so, which has been great. But yeah, so we like went through several major life changes. I said we bought a house, right? Oh no, yeah. And we bought a house all at once. And so it was super stressful. But I think change can be good if we embrace it. And so the question is, what would you say is the most rewarding thing? Because I want to focus on the positive about all those major life changes that we experienced.
Sure.
A year ago.
I think there were several rewarding things. It's kind of like I mentioned in the last question. I've kind of always been an adventurer. I love the adventure. I'm always down for the adventure. And so that was definitely a huge adventure in a very short amount of time. I mean, all happened kind of within like 2 months. We had moved, bought a house, career change, and had a baby in like 2 months. We'd have a baby in 2 months. I guess that took about 10 months. But the adventure was incredible, and I feel like it was handled on both sides pretty well. I mean, I don't know that we like got mad at each other, upset, or had the big arguments or fallouts or anything like that throughout the whole process. And it was stressful. There were a lot of moments where we were like, man, well, I don't know how this is going to happen. But I think that was a really rewarding part. And then I think that God showed himself to us a lot through that process. And he made himself really available and really kind of showed us, like, what did it look like for him to have his hands on something, and how it's so much better than we could even imagine, in our control, just relinquishing that control to him. And so that was a pretty rewarding part. Big homie Kane just wanted to get a shout out in the video. Shout out to Amani's dog Kane. Yeah.
Amani's my stepsister, but yeah. So, okay. Well, thank you for being a featured guest on the first video that we have actually done for Dirty Laundry Clean Soul. So there's a couple of things. I want to do more bonus content like this, especially during the summer, because we have a little bit more free time. So just look for more of that. If you have ideas or questions you want me to answer, or different videos you want me to do, or things like that, then you can just DM me. So follow me on social media, or you can comment below. You can do any of those things and I'll be checking it out. So I would love to do more fun stuff like this. I have a blog post every other Monday, and so make sure you go and check those out. You can subscribe for free, and then you'll get those every Monday that they come out. And then I have something I'm kind of excited about. So I'm doing a giveaway probably in the next week or two. I won't quite tell you what it is, but be looking on my social media for that. And so there are just like 2 things that you have to do in order to be entered to get the giveaway item that I have, but just be looking out for that. And so I'm super excited about that as well. And then okay, so I am a perfectionist, but I try not to be, because obviously I'm not very good at that. But there are a lot of things where I go and I look at my site and I'm like, I probably need to change that, or I need to revamp this or do that, and kind of want to I want to make sure that whenever people go to my website, specifically you, that you not only enjoy it, but it's kind of easy to navigate and things like that. So you'll see that I'm kind of revamping the site. You'll still have access to everything. It will not change your access. It's just going to be me trying to make the website better and a little bit more appealing and something that people want to go to. And so don't like freak out when you see that. You can still access everything. Just a little plug-in right there. So all right, well, I think that's it for our video. Comment, like below.
I gotta do it.
You're gonna pour the whole thing?
No, Heck no.
Oh.
But we've been
I was
doing
gonna say
3.
you should come back on the show.
We've been doing 3, and none of us have been able to finish. And so I'm going 3 right now, and we're gonna finish it. It's going down the hatch.
Okay.
We, as in like me and you. I'm really just me because
Yeah,
you're not
just
gonna
you.
do it. So this is a pretty deadly combo, for being honest. But it's gonna get finished right here. I believe in me.
I believe in you, babe.
You got some hours.
Come on, baby, you got it. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish right over here.
All right, Kane's getting antsy. He just threw up. Bye. Thanks. Check out the website for more information and more bonus content.